So here's the material list. Remember, you don't need endstone, and feel free to pause the video. The endstone are just placeholders for any solid block. Make sure it's not flammable, of course, as you are building in the nether. And then the first step is to break over a 9x9 area in the nether. So yeah, 9x9, we're going to fully box it in, put the farm there so you can AFK it safely. And yeah, I must say, because I built this farm, another tip I have is build it next to a blaze farm, or if you have any other type of farm in the lower nether, because of course you can't build on the roof in Bedrock, build it close to that, as you'll be able to AFK both at the same time. So yeah, I was just AFKing the blaze while building this the whole time. You get XP, you get blaze rods for enchanting, fuel. So yeah, maybe build a blaze farm as well next to this, or build a close one if you want to build it in the future. But again, next to any farm just sort of doubles the utility of your AFK sessions, right? So that's one of the main tips I'd have. And then again, just for decoration, I'm using endstone. You can leave as netherrack if you want, but I'd say, like, yeah, this is one of the best SMPs in the world, actually. So trying to make it look nice. And yeah, just be careful with this, anything you're building across, as I was building it in another fortress. But yeah, just fully box the 9x9 area in whatever decorative block you chose. Again, it doesn't matter if you don't care about the decoration, then just leave a netherrack, but just make sure the area is 9x9. So yeah, that's the first sort of major step, and then you'll be able to start building the farm. So once you have this boxed area, you place 2 chests just like that. So basically 2 double chests, you can see it's 2 blocks away from the side, and then you put hoppers running into it, and you connect the hoppers into the corner. The piglin will actually be on the corner here, so you can see, just place the hoppers. The one at the bottom was actually a mistake, don't place that one. I'm gonna break it, but yeah, the piglin will go on top of that last hopper when we place a minecart with a rail on top of it. So on the last hopper you place a rail and a minecart with hopper. This is where the loot will be collected, right? The piglin will be on that endstone that I just placed, and yeah, encase it in glass as well. We'll make it too high later. The first thing to do is to place the dispenser. This is the thing that will actually put gold into piglin, and don't worry, the piglin will pick up the gold before the minecart with the hopper picks up the gold. So yeah, place the final 2 remaining glass blocks, and then the next thing to do is you're going to build a hopper, infinite clock, sorry. So this will just power the dispenser repeatedly, so on off on off on off, basically make it spit out the gold at max speed. And yeah, this is where the redstone components come in. So I'll have this lever. This will be the lever that turns the farm on or off, and then yeah, you just build the clock with a repeater in the middle. Yeah, I need to have a bit more space. Should go red like that, and then you flick it once to add a tiny bit of a delay, and then you just put the redstone and you place the solid block back, and you can see the clock is already running as we flick the lever. Once you flick the lever off, you can see, yeah, I'll just put some blocks in there just to prove the concept. You can see going down at quite a nice speed. If it's too fast, you can increase the delay. But yeah, once you flick the lever again, it will stop running, right? The last thing to do is, and this is what makes the farm so OP on Bedrock, is you're going to place a sticky piston and a gold block right next to the farm. And what this will do is it will allow the piglin to trade instantly, right? Normally you have to wait 9 seconds for the piglin to trade, I believe, or something along those lines. But when the piglin sees a gold block moving up and down for some reason, and this only works on Bedrock, by the way, the piglin will auto trade. So just place the sticky piston, you can see it's going up or down when the farm is off. So I'd recommend at this point, yeah, just putting the gold block there. You can of course switch the farm on first, which is what we are going to do. Place the gold block, flick the lever, and then there we go. That is basically the bulk of the farm. The next thing you're going to have to do is get a piglin, and for some reason on my world we have the spawn proof, as we also have a wither farm, so it's a triple sort of AFK area with the blaze farm, bartering farm, and wither farm. So yeah, most of it spawn proofs had to run around for quite a long time. Make sure you name tag the piglin. The other thing you can do is make it wear armor, and then it won't despawn, but I mean, you should have name tags if you're building a bartering farm. So yeah, get them from villages. I think you'll be able to craft them farm even in a future update. So yeah, we're just killing so many mobs. I think this took like over 20 minutes just to find one piglin. I was finding baby piglins, as you could see, zombie pigmen, ghast, like magma cube, literally every mob possible except for an adult piglin. And when we finally found it, I'd recommend having gold in your hand, because that's kind of the only way to bring it to the farm. You could also bring a boat, or maybe even make a minecart track, but the easiest way for me is you bring gold, and since I attracted the gold, right, when you drop it, you can see we have the piglin here, they will just follow that trail. Just make sure that the gold isn't too far away. They can see the next gold each time. You can see it's kind of failing there, so I'd bring quite a lot of gold as backup, especially if your farm is far away, just in case. So yeah, here I'm just sort of breaking into the farm, placing more gold, and then once he's in the sort of blaze farm area, I lock him in there, then continue the trail, name him Piglin again, just so that he doesn't despawn, but he won't despawn while you're doing this. It's only when you go far away that they'll despawn, like outside of the chunk, so don't worry about the name tag. You can name it at the end. And then once he's in, just lock him in like that, and then replace the blocks. And then yeah, this is how to use the farm. That is the farm done. For those that want a sorting system as well, there were more requirements, so you'll see a next chest. And I did this because you don't really need a sorting system, but we're the best SMP. So this is all the stuff you need for 3 extra things. So sorting system, a chest where you can put gold into the dispenser automatically, and also a burning system for overflow items. So this is the first upgrade. So you're going to place a hopper here, a chest there, and because we are the best SMP, we also put a gold sign, just so that other users on the SMP know how to do it. By the way, if you guys want to join the SMP, it's completely free and open to join. It's a Bedrock PS4 world. You can see we're like literally at 9k days played at the time of recording, so really good SMP. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to extend the farm out by the number of chests that the farm has items for, +1 for all the non-stackable items like soul sound books, etc. So I believe it is 14 items in total, or 15, sorry, because you have the non-stackable as well. So we already have 1 double chest from before, because it's a 9x9 room, you have +8. So just make sure you extend it by the amount of chests shown. So you extend to the end of the 9x9, and then you break out another extra area for all your other chests. You could also do this differently, maybe do a loop going around, but I just like having this sort of extension area, and you'll see at the end we build sort of an area around it. The next step is to just place hoppers going into each of the chests. Again, these will be so filtered with the standard impulse as the storage, like item storage filter, except for the last one, of course, as that's non-stackable. Again, we're making sure to decorate it well with the endstone, so just removing the netherrack. But again, all of this is sort of just optional. If you want to leave it netherrack, you can. The only thing you need to do in this step is just place the hoppers going into the chest, just like that. And then the next step is going to be actually to move the piglin up, because of course in the basic version, right, you don't actually have like these chests. You don't need to have extra hoppers, but if you do choose to do the extra steps, which is item filtering, I guess I should have said that at the start, but you will need more space. So if you don't want to move the piglin up, but this works perfectly, as I'll show you with the sticky piston, you should place a sticky piston below and then a lever. You should power it, and the piglin will go up. You'll have to do this twice, by the way, so just pushing up once and then repeating the process again right after that. But again, you don't have to do this, right? You could move the farm to below if you don't want to move the piglin. That means you'll also have to move the dispenser, by the way, and also the clock. But again, these are very quick fixes, and what I'd say is if you don't want to move this, again, you can just build the farm to below, right, to have space. So again, just rebuild it at the right level, just how I showed you before. Move the chest for the dispenser up, and then yeah, the last step again is just to replace that sort of piston system. So again, the piston goes at the redstone level, so you can see it's pushed up there when it's off, and then when the farm turns off, that gold will continuously go up and down. You can see you flick the lever here, yeah, up, down, and then the piglin will trade automatically thanks to that. And again, I think, yeah, this is the hopper. So from underneath the piglin block, you just have to move that as well. So the piglin is right on top. Then you're going to place again the rail. Again, just really make sure the wall is complete for decoration. But then yeah, you're going to just place the rail and then the hopper minecart, which will pick up all the items that the piglin is bartering with us, or automatically in this case. And again, you can break all these sort of junk blocks that were left from when we expanded the piglin up 2 blocks. Again, you don't have to do this if you just want to move the farm 2 down instead of pushing the piglin 2 up. And then the last step is the last step in this process is to place a hopper chain going all the way to the other side. So this is where all the non-filtered items will go through, and then the hoppers below will pick it up if and only if the item matches the item in the impulse SV sort of hopper system, as I said before. So you can see, just break out all the way to where the chest, the last chest is. Make sure you place all the hoppers going right back, and yeah, that's it. That's going to be the line pushing all the items. Then the next thing is to build the actual impulse SV item filter. So we're going to place 1 comparator per hopper at the bottom here. So these are 3 hoppers going into the chest, as you can see. Place 14. Remember, the last chest does not need to be filtered. It's all the water bottles, source handbooks, everything else that doesn't get filtered. And then finally, place hoppers going into the comparators like this. And then the last thing to do for the impulse SV item filters will be the redstone that actually goes behind the comparators. So yeah, very easy step there, just placing more hoppers. And then this actually behind the farm, so you can see the comparators there. You're just gonna have to place basically 2 blocks on the same level of the comparators, and then 1 on the level below where I'm currently standing on. Remember, don't do it for the last chest. And again, we just do this as decoration, but just breaking the last block to make it end zone in case anyone comes back here, because again, it's the best SMP, so we want everything to be perfect. And yeah, this is basically a nice sort of setup area for the redstone. The next thing to do is just break again this is the old wall, right? So just break it so you have space to place the redstone that will be going there. Break any other sort of junk blocks, netherrack, nether bricks, whatever is in your way. Basically, just make sure you have space. You can also do the redstone in wall if you want, or just whatever you want, right? It's your choice. I use endstone because we're currently doing an endstone mining project. But yeah, just mine all of that out, and then you'll be able to do the impulse SV filtering. So you're actually going to go down 1 block. You can see as comparator, then 1 block space, and then when you dig down, there should be a hole right there. So you're going to go into that hole. This is where the bottom chests are. So there's double chests at the bottom, hoppers going into them. Right behind that, you're going to want to place the redstone torches, and this will actually lock the hoppers up and not allow them to pick any items. So you're just going to go all the way through here and check that everything is okay, check that you're on the right spot, and just place torches going all the way for the chest, except for the last one, as explained, as again, that one isn't doing any item filtering at all. The next step is to place the repeaters that are going into the block that the redstone torches on the other side. So yeah, right on the other side of that, that's the torches, and cover that up with whatever block you chose as your decoration solid block. And then the last step is to place 3 redstone, 1 on the bottom here, and then 2 on the 2 higher places, connecting all of that up. And that is the standard impulse SV item filter, and we have that for every single chest. Then the next step, as you know, is just going to be a long one, because there are quite a lot of items to fill, but you're going to want to place cobblestone blocks that are called R, or whatever you want. It doesn't have to be cobblestone blocks, but it's just placeholders. Make sure you place 3 from the most right position to second most right, and then middle, and then 41 in the middle with the item you want to filter. So again, just run the bartering farm for a bit without filtering them at first. Make sure you have every item, and then you'll be able to do this. The only special one is the eyes of ender, the ender pearl, sorry, and you have to place 35 instead of 41 for the item filter to work as a stack of 16. And the last thing to build, it's this sort of burning item, so your chest doesn't overflow. So you just make another clock as we did before, but this time is a dispenser with lava, and what this will do is if your system overflows, you can turn this on and it will empty out the last chest of all the sort of items, so that your whole system doesn't overflow, right? And the items are just despawning on the ground. So if you're going over AFK overnight, I recommend turning this on. If you're not using too much gold, then I recommend actually leaving this off, as it's quite useful to have soul speed books, stuff like that. So yeah, just make sure you have hoppers running into the dispenser like this from the bottom chest, and then everything will sort of pile down into it. You can see when the system is on, again, you just saw that fire resistance potion going on, like everything will get burned basically, or dispensed out. You can see all these cobblestone slabs getting burned, and yeah, the last step is just to place 2 redstone like that, and again put the solid block back, and what this will do is when the system is off, it will lock the hoppers so they won't actually take anything out of the chest, right? As you can see there, when the system is off, your items won't be getting burned, but if you turn it on, you can see the cobblestone slabs going out into the incinerator. So easy way, when it's off, you keep all the items. When it's on, all the items get burned so you don't overflow. So very simple system to add there, and again it's just a bonus if you do or are scared of the overflow. Then the next step is just cleaning up. Basically, again, I was doing it at the blaze farm, and then yeah, the other thing we sort of added here, which is completely optional, is just a stairway with an easy way. Again, we moved the gold chest right next to Piglin, so it's easy access for everyone on the SMP. We cleaned up, and yeah, that stair basically enables everyone on the SMP to place the blocks onto, place a gold into the actual farm, and also turn the farm on with this lever here. The other thing I'd recommend is just adding signs basically everywhere saying like what to do, right? For the members of the SMP who might have never seen a bartering farm, it's just useful so they don't break it by accident or get confused, right? So if you're on an SMP, then have these signs of, for example, have a gold sign, turn lever to turn on farm, and then this one is flick lever to burn non-stackable items if the system overflows. Basically, again, you are restricted with the space you can use on signs, so I had to use if last chest full. And again, this is a full run of the system with the 3 improvements. Again, same farm as before, except stuff is getting sorted now. You have a gold chest so that you can AFK fully overnight, and then yeah, the other improvement is if you want, you can turn the burning on. So you can see it's trading automatically each time, right? You don't need to waste 9 seconds of your life per trade. This just gets done like automatically for you when the gold is done. It's all in the dispenser right now because we built that system, as I said, but when it's done, you can just flick the lever off. Those items will eventually get collected by the hoppers, and you can see everything being sorted perfectly. Again, as I said, make sure the item filters are correct. 3 filler items named or something that you don't get from the farm or don't get commonly in the nether, and then 41 or 35 depending on the ender pearls, right? So you can see fire charge, that's stackable to 64, so you have 41, but ender pearls here, make sure it is 35, otherwise it will overflow and they just won't work for the ender pearls. So make sure for the ender pearls only it is 35, and again for the last chest you don't have a filter at all, right? That one just gets done. And then final improvements, I'd say to make it look nice, as a bartering farm, so gold is a heavy element, so I just if you have a glowing farm or just have dandelions on you, then make sure to spruce up the signs. Also make sure to use honeycomb. We have a bee farm on the server so that people don't accidentally change or like delete some of the signs, which would then confuse further players, or griefers can't have that big of an impact, for example, and it's just a nice thing to have. Again, if you are aiming for the best SMP or world and you play multiplayer, this is something you should strive for, just making every farm you make very usable, very easy to understand, and they don't have to message you or just annoy you, make you come over. So yeah, that's the farm. Hopefully you enjoyed. It's really good.